Alien Earth Episode 4 delivered one of the strangest and most unsettling twists in the history of the franchise. A xenomorph chestburster emerging not from a human chest, but from Hermit's extracted lung. The moment shocked fans and sparked furious Reddit debates. Was this a new species, a failed experiment, or the first step toward something even more horrifying? The first arc of Alien Earth had been hinting for weeks that Wendy, the hybrid prototype with a child's mind and an adult synthetic body, had a strange connection to the xenomorphs. After collapsing at the Maginot crash site in Episode 3, Episode 4 revealed why. Wendy can hear the frequency on which the xenomorphs speak, so to speak. Dr. Arthur and Dr. Dame Sylvia experiment with tuning her sensitivity, and before long, Wendy learns to speak back in their frequency. Boy Cavalier, Prodigy's ambitious CEO, immediately tests whether she can establish rapport with a living alien. The test subject turns out to be Hermit, the frail and unlucky member of the group. Instead of a chestburster, however, the embryo grows in his lung. The episode ends with Wendy greeting the tiny newborn Xeno as it emerges, even stroking it like a pet. The biggest fan question was whether the lungburster counts as a new species. Traditionally, xenomorphs adapt to their hosts, borrowing traits while retaining their lethal efficiency. The dogburster in Alien 3 was smaller, faster, and more animalistic than its human-born counterparts. In Alien vs. Predator Requiem, the infamous Pred-Alien hybrid carried traits of its Yautja host. These examples show the creature's ability to vary without changing species. In Hermit's case, the variation lies in where the embryo incubated. A lung is less spacious and nutrient-rich than a torso cavity, which might produce a smaller, initially weaker chestburster. However, nothing suggests it won't mature into a standard drone. Fans noticed that this version had small arms visible early, perhaps hinting at accelerated development, or just a design tweak for television impact. So while it may look and feel different, the lungburster is still a xenomorph drone, just with a disturbingly novel origin. It's fair to ask why Prodigy would risk implanting in a lung instead of sacrificing a whole human host. Several in-universe explanations make sense. Corporations like Prodigy and Weyland-Yutani before it are obsessed with profit and efficiency. Sacrificing a healthy adult host is wasteful when they can experiment on an expendable subject like Hermit. Testing unusual implantation sites reveals how adaptable the embryos are. If a xeno can grow in a lung, what about other organs? What traits might emerge? For a corporation trying to engineer controllable assets, this data is invaluable. Hermit himself is an ideal victim. Frail and marginalized, he represents someone the company deems expendable. His exploitation underscores the cruelty of Prodigy's methods. They don't risk the valuable, they prey upon the vulnerable. Narratively, using Hermit allows the writers to stage a birth that produces a creature small, pitiful, and strange enough for Wendy to empathize with.
Oh my God. I've never seen anything like it. Doctor. What is it, Doctor?
I'm fine. Get the t-shirt.
If it had come from a strong adult, it would have burst forth with violence and been impossible to frame as anything but a monster. From a storytelling perspective, choosing the lung wasn't about alien biology so much as reframing the chestburster scene. Fans have seen countless variations of the classic emergence. To shock the audience in these modern times, the show had to do something new. A lungburster disrupts expectations and makes even seasoned fans squirm. It also aligns perfectly with the series' ongoing themes of exploitation and manipulation of children in adult bodies. Using Hermit reinforces the idea that Prodigy will use the weak as tools, no matter the cost. Most importantly, the lungburster gives Wendy someone to connect to. The moment contrasts horror with tenderness. Sydney Chandler revealed in interviews that she imagined the baby alien as her late pet dog while filming, which explains the eerie compassion that comes across in the scene. The alien, fragile and frightened, becomes an object of empathy rather than pure terror. The nutrient limitations of a lung host raise a natural question. Will this alien be weaker than its kin? Probably not. The Alien franchise consistently shows that xenomorphs are hyper-efficient bioweapons, able to cannibalize host tissues and grow rapidly once free. Even animal hosts have produced lethal, if slightly altered forms. The lung burster may emerge smaller or slower, but once it feeds, it is unlikely to remain weaker. What is more plausible is that its vulnerability at birth allows Wendy to bond with it, giving Prodigy the illusion that they can control or tame the species. That, of course, is the larger thematic point. The lung-bred xenomorph is not meant to be an evolutionary leap forward. It is a narrative device that highlights Prodigy's cruelty, Wendy's empathy, and the dangerous illusion of control. Hawley has said that Wendy's connection is not divine or fated. It is a quirk of her hybrid form. Yet because she has a child's mind, she approaches the creature with innocence, seeing it as frightened rather than monstrous. To Wendy, it is not an enemy, but a possible friend. For longtime fans, the horror lies not in whether the lungburster is weaker, but in what this experiment foreshadows. A corporation with the ability to manipulate implantation sites, hybrid hosts, and even communication frequencies is edging closer to weaponizing xenomorphs as controllable assets. Wendy may have been able to soothe the newborn, but what happens when it grows, molts, and reaches its adult stage? What if Prodigy's plan isn't simply to create monsters, but to create monsters that listen? In the end, the lung-bred xenomorph isn't a new species. It is a cruel experiment, an unsettling variation, and a perfect mirror of alien Earth's themes. It represents both the vulnerability of the exploited and the hubris of those who think they can control what is uncontrollable. Its small, almost pitiful birth allowed Wendy to pet it like a child with a stray animal. But fans know better. A lung may have limited it at first, but hunger and biology will soon erase any weakness. The only real mutation here is in how humans, or hybrids, choose to see it. So what did you think of the new lung xenomorph? Please leave a comment below. Also check out the I'm Fine t-shirt in our store, the perfect gift for sci-fi fans. Until next time,